'cause I don't wanna miss you, and I'm on a mission. You know what I gotta do. I'm going a million miles an hour for you. I'ma come and get you. I'm looking at your picture. You know that I'm coming through. I'm going a million miles an hour.
Hi, Josh from SubGravity again, and today we're going to be talking about properly weighting and balancing your DPV for the type of water that you'll be diving in. Your SubGravity DPV actually comes weighted properly for fresh water from the factory, but we also include a weight kit to help you adjust for different salinity if you're going in the ocean, different bodies of water, also to help you adjust for any equipment that you might have attached to your DPV, such as a camera up here on the handle. In your additional weighting kit, you'll see there are larger weights and smaller weights. In general, the larger weights go in the nose cone and the smaller weights go in the tail section. You'll also see that there are thin and thick plates to allow you to get the perfect weighting and balance for your DPV. The reason I'm standing in the water for this process is because to get the proper weighting and balance for your DPV, you need to test it in the actual water that you'll be diving in. So now I'm going to show you a little trick that will allow you to get the proper weighting and balance in the water you'll be diving in without unnecessarily opening your DPV repeatedly. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to take our DPV, standing in the water that we'll be diving in, and we're going to test the weighting and balance with weights on the outside of the DPV. To prepare to weight and balance your DPV for the water you're diving in, you want to make sure that your clip is not hanging from the DPV. We'll talk more about that later. So I'm just going to clip this on right here. You can clip it onto a staircase. It can be resting on the ground, whatever your environment allows. Next, we're going to take the nose weight pieces, and I'm simply going to place these on the nose to get the proper weighting. You'll see with this particular DPV, it's quite positive at the moment. So we're going to start with the nose cone and get it properly weighted. All we're going to do is take these weight plates here and balance them here at the end of the handle until we get our proper weighting. You can see it's starting to change. We're going to add more weight. What I'm looking for here is actually for this handle to be right at about the surface of the water, maybe just below it. So you can see that's pretty close. Now that we have the nose weighted pretty close for where we want it, we're going to look at the tail section. Now, this particular DPV is actually pretty dang close without us adjusting the weight in the tail section here. Part of this comes down to personal preference. What I prefer is for this rear handle here to be less than halfway out of the water here at the surface. If the tail section did need adjustment, you'd simply do it the same way that you did with the nose, with the small weights placing on the outside of the scooter until you get the desired level. I like it right about right there, where the rear handle is less than halfway out of the water, the DPV is floating level under the water, and actually at this point it is slightly positive. So after I get the nose and the tail section properly weighted and balanced, I took the DPV out of the water and installed those weights. Now you can see this DPV is sitting here floating perfectly at the surface of the water. The nose section is just below the surface. The tail right here, the handle, is just barely out of the water. As I mentioned, the DPV is just slightly positively buoyant at this point. You can see that it's floating here just at the surface and it's not moving. Here's my own little secret sauce to get it just the way that I like it. Remember that clip at the beginning I told you didn't want that hanging from the DPV? Now we're going to use this to test our DPV to make sure it's just right. The weight of this clip should make the difference between the DPV floating right here at the surface and just very slowly descending into the water. So let's test that now. Looks like it's just right. So this is the simple process we use to properly weight and balance our DPVs for the particular water that we'll be diving in. I promise you that if you take the time to do this, you'll be a lot happier with your DPV, it'll be safer and easier to use, and you'll be able to get the maximum potential and efficiency out of your SubGravity DPV.